All right, folks. It is 5 o'clock p.m. Y'all know what time it is. It is the Midnight Run UK. Once again, it's me. It's that VINCE. And of course, I'm working in the background. So, as always, this is our Q&A. So, feel free to ask me anything. Hey, Justin, Ryan, glad you guys tuned up. We're just a few hours away from Donald Trump turning himself into he'll be turned into the Fulton jail. He will not get a mugshot. They're just going to use a public domain picture. He will be digitally fingerprinted. And that's going to be the most of it. They'll bring him into court. They're going to talk about his bond, and then he'll be free to go. They're definitely going to set down some pretty harsh ground rules for Mr. Trump. I'm just very curious. As far as that impeachment hearing for the DA, it's not going to go anywhere. In fact, they can actually get themselves in trouble just by even talking about that, because that's basically interfering. Honestly, they just need the whole thing to just play out. But how you folks doing tonight? What y'all drinking and smoking there? Just let me know in the comments below. That's especially for my UK peoples. Getting ready for a shave and shower? All right. About headed to bed. Yeah, I guess it is 10:01 p.m. in the UK, which is why we do the stream itself. This is a special stream because I'm going to tune in just a minute and see where things are as far as Trump is concerned. So we're just going to take a good look out at that. Other than that, I've been working a little bit late because things have been going slow sales-wise. So if I get a phone call or anything like that, I will have to take it, Got to pay the bills, No, Trump is not going to be handcuffed. He's not going to get a mugshot. He's going to be digitally fingerprinted. He ain't going to put no ink on his hands or anything. He'll be taken to court. They'll set a bond for him. I would expect a $150,000 bond. And then he'll be, of course, obviously he'll post bond and then he'll leave. He will not need a bail bondsman, obviously. Giuliani needed a bail bondsman. Giuliani has no money whatsoever. He's broke. He has zero money, the same as Roger Stone. Although I don't think he's mixed up in the mix or so. Oh, you're in Ontario? Okay. So it's about the same time as mine, but hey, no worries. Always good to tune in and hang out. Of course, even though it's not one of our React videos, I figure, React videos are always good for replay. And of course, there's no membership required for any of my replays, so you're going to be good on that, This also gives people an opportunity to ask me any questions, since that's very limited on my regular live streams, since I'm doing most of the time reacting rather than just mainly answering questions. All right. And you will hear that going off in the background, so feel free to ask me any questions while I'm just jamming tonight, so. Let's see. That's almost done, and then I'll check it out. That's done. Let's check this out. All right, everything looking good. Let's check quantity and inventory. I had a lot of barbecue sauce for some odd reason. don't know why. Alright, let's see what was tendered to FedEx. Okay, that's going to Department of Kinesiology. Doot doo 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 doo. Oh, this hadn't been tagged yet. Crap, 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 crap. Where did I put that person's order at? 817. Why did that not come up? Oh, no wonder. Okay. Alright. So what else? What do y'all else are up to anyway? FedEx. Post it in the comments below. But let's go ahead and check out the madness on Fox News and see how many protesters we're going to get caught with. Apparently there's a huge crowd, as obviously, so. And the trial date's going to be for October 23rd. Now, that's going to be... That is mighty early. That I'm not sure if they're going to even have time to review all the evidence. We're talking about 93,000 pages. That's going to be a lot to review. It looks like Mark Meadows has turned himself in today. He has his mugshot. Again, folks, Donald Trump is not going to get a mugshot. They're going to use public domain. They're going to use a public domain picture instead. And where's my Quicken at? You folks are a bit quiet today. Like I said, this is the Q&A. It's feel free to ask the great one any questions, you know. Because we got 2 hours. I may end up playing something otherwise. Although I still got customer information on here, so I'll definitely have to take that off. Hey, I know it's 10 o'clock in the UK. Wake up, folks. Hmm. All right, let's see how we're doing this month. Remember, folks, if you're going to run a business, make sure you have your accounting right. Well, Sky, the issue that I actually have with voting is definitely not Biden, but there's no telling what Republican's going to win the nomination. You see, the reason being is if Trump gets convicted of a felony, he's not going to be able to. He's not going to be allowed to run for office here. I mean, that's the law. That's why I'm a little irked about this. They really should have waited until the election season's over because next year is going to be the election, and having all this at once can be, very distracting. I mean, think about it for a minute, Sky. The first Republican debate was just yesterday, and Trump's turning himself in today. So, as you could tell, that's going to be an obvious distraction. But Trump is leading by a large number. Oh no, it's not rigged at all. It's important, Sky, to have faith in our election process because what else do we have? Just keeping it real and telling it to you like it is. Honestly, these numbers can't be right, but well. I mean, it could be right. And what we're going to want is monthly year to date and current month. 6,000 legal fees. What the heck is that? What legal fees did I have? That's odd. I don't have any legal fees. Let's see what that is. Now, folks, one thing about running a business, sometimes you have unfiltered fees that, you have no idea where that's coming from. So I'm going to need to look that up. So let's see where this is from. Fiverr. Alright, we can't do that. We need to get that changed. No, that's in the right column. Oh well. You mean COVID? They're saying that there is an uptick in COVID viruses, and to put back on masks. I don't intend to put one on. So part of the reason is I'm mostly at my age. I don't really go out too much to begin with. Plus, I don't interact with too many people these days. Now, once I go to Asheville, $50, I will definitely have to put on a mask. Asheville is an extremely, and I do mean extremely liberal city. I mean, it's more liberal than California. No joke. That I'm not even joking about that at all. I mean, it's just crazy. Well, that's not right. Oh, good. I finally got my credit from Saks. So now I can spend another $50 at Saks. But you can expect a lot of stuff to happen. $50 as far as COVID is concerned. It's going to be a mess come wintertime. I mean, just take a look at the job market. Job market's horrible. I've been managing fairly well and everything like that, but not exactly great as it used to be. I mean, the benefit is I do have passive income. Uh, but the thing about it is, whatever job I actually end up getting eventually, I'm definitely not going to make as much as I did working customer relations at Verizon, and I've pretty much figured that I'm not going to work that. I'm not going to work as hard as I used to in trying to find a job related to that. I'm going to find another job that's not only less stressful, but it'll allow me the time to still do my live streams and stuff, as well as run my businesses. Because if I get a job like that, then it takes away from me actually running the business. So, just have to see. The invoice. How much should I pay for those javelins? 155. And my caliber gym orders 186. Okay. I can live with that. I can definitely live with that. All right, let's go to Home Mortgages Direct. Work on that for a little bit. Actually, I don't want that. Let's cut off the... I'm going to need to tune down that automatic. Just do that once a week. I'll turn that into 7 days. Do, 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 do. That one goes 7 days. And... Alright, let's see how things look. Ah, nice. And now I'm going to take care of this. Hey, Andy. Well, I try. I understand it's not going to be a packed live stream at this time, but I understand that you guys miss out on me answering questions and stuff like that, and I figure that you can go back and check out the React videos, but y'all don't get your questions in, so just want to make sure I do this. And, you know, it's convenient for me because I still work in the background. It's still a work day for me because I'll probably go until 8 o'clock tonight, and then I'm going to head out, essentially, because I just got my car out of servicing. They accidentally did a oil change for some odd reason. I told them not to. But, you know, I've not had the vehicle serviced in like 2 years. It's very reliable, so I ended up paying $700 for it. It should have been $600, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to negotiate with the owner. The car is eventually going to need an oil change, so I'll take it back there for an oil change for free. And that will be the end of it. I am going to change this to generate press. Oh, you're fine with the grammar mistakes. Hey, JV, what's up? Oh, yes, I'm working on the... Working on your... Working on yourdrugcard.com. I'm going to change the theme because I'm tired of just looking at it. It's just ugly. So I'm going to change this to a generate press because I already have a license for it anyway. No, it's not dark. It's 524 here. Like I said, but it's 1024 in the UK. Which is what the stream is for, so let's see. Gonna go ahead and install that. We're gonna activate it. And we're gonna go visit the site. What did that do? Hmm. Oh, I guess I can't change the theme. Crap. Well, back to where it went to. Wonder what the heck was that all about. Yep, different parts of the world. Like I said, I'm in South Carolina, and this is our UK broadcast, so it's 10:26. So I won't be changing that, but I do need to edit the postings. Hey, Pugman, what's up? Yeah, I watched some of the Trump interview yesterday. He's pretty much staying on message. I think it was a good idea that he did the interview. There's no need for him to show up for the debate. I mean, he's light years ahead of the competition. So everybody in that Republican debate is just competing for second place, if that. But it's like Highlander, there can only be one. Well, Pugman, a lot of people don't have insurance. And also, some people need to get insurance. The one thing people don't get insurance on is pets, because pet medication is even more expensive than just buying it out directly. So, my prescription drug card is for anyone that doesn't have any insurance, doesn't have a prescription card, or if they got pets and they don't have a. Most people don't even think about pet prescription insurance cards. So, you can pretty much get any drug that's out there. The company that's behind it that I work with, I mean, they're pretty awesome. They get some pretty good discounts on it. So. But it's just one of those things that I ran. It's actually, this website was originally built in 2004, and I bought it out last year. So it's pretty much a rider to all of my other medical companies. I mean, I paid only $11 just to re-register it, and then I just set up a free prescription card, the same as what was running before. So. But yeah, Trump has already won, Pug Man. He's already won. Non-negotiable. I don't even. I honestly don't know why. I mean, and just look at whenever they asked the people on the stand as far as Trump is concerned, they're pretty much backing Trump. When you're already winning, why go and debate with a bunch of, well, losers? I don't have any pets, Sky, but other people do. And, having that prescription card for their pets, uh, because once a veterinarian tells someone that they need to get these certain meds, yeah. People don't think about it, and they can literally get a card. They can roll up to wherever they need to go to. They can just pull up the app, click on things, and then they can use the prescription card that I have. And it's free to get. Yeah, the UK does have prescription medication for free and stuff. Just not the same in the US. Well, there's going to be ups and downs, Andy. If you have that type of medicine, the thing about it is that even though we have to pay for it, we get immediate care. If I need to, like, for example, when I messed up my arm, I was able to get immediate care. And what I hear from not only my UK friends, but also Canadian friends, that they got to wait weeks before they can get any treatment, unless it's a major issue. But honestly, Pugman, they should have waited until the election was over with. And the thing about it is, and Pugman, here's the thing. There's 93,000 pages in those indictments. The trial starts in October 23rd. I want you guys to think about this. 93,000 pages in the indictment. You have about 60 days. That means in order for them to catch up on everything, they're going to have to read 1,550 pages a day, every single day, in order to know what's in that indictment. There's 93,000 pages. They got to read 1,550 pages. That doesn't seem to be fair. Could you imagine if you had to read 1,550 pages, and then it's not just reading, it's trying to decipher all that? Pugman, I have no clue how they came up with 93,000 pages. I really don't. And then on top of that, they're going to try everybody at one time. They're going to try everybody at one time. So, 93,000 pages, which is 1,550 a day. How are you going to be able to go over everything in order to defend yourself? Well, nothing in life is free. There's always a cost to it. Even with medical care in the UK and Canada, you have to pay for everybody else's. So it's not free healthcare. You're paying for it one way or the other. The price doesn't change. Well, they can't read through all these bills. They can't. Now, I'm sure the law firm is going to have a team of workers doing that. But just imagine if it was, if we weren't wealthy or anything. I couldn't afford an attorney that can read through 1,550 pages a day. Who can? You can't. I mean, Pugman, they must be AI generated. I don't know what it is. I don't know how you can get 93,000 pages on an indictment. But I can't expect someone to, even with a team of lawyers, to decipher all of that information. Now, you have to consider the reason why they probably have 93,000 pages is because they've had 2 years to actually prepare the case. So, the DA has taken 2 years to prepare the case, which has resulted in all these pages, I think. Now they expect Trump and everybody else to go over they're trying to get them to go over 2 years of paperwork in 60 days. Well, Andy, here's the thing. The thing about it is that, we have a high level of obesity in America. If people got out and exercised and ate right and everything and weren't stuffing their faces with McDonald's or so forth, you wouldn't have these medical bills to worry about. It would definitely mitigate it. And that's just not in the US, that's anyone. Seriously. The only issue is if you get into like a car accident, you're going to be completely wiped out. We do need to make some changes to our healthcare system, Andy. I will acknowledge that. But it is what it is. What it's going to be is what it's going to be. Yeah, you got to pay a bill for an ambulance. Now, I got health insurance, but I have a high deductible on mine. My insurance is really for major accidents. Everything else I pay out of pocket. And what I generally do is I still have my doctor's visits and stuff. Those come with my health insurance, but if I have a problem or so forth, I'm going to go to urgent care. The benefit of going to urgent care, besides the emergency room, and that's what most people should do, is go to urgent care rather than the emergency room. Emergency room's going to charge you a couple of $100s. You go to urgent care, they're only going to charge me like $30 or $40. It's general care. So there's a way to mitigate your expenses. Excuse me just a moment. Got to hit the can. No, this is a blanket is usually what I wear while I'm working. Even when I was at Verizon, I wore a blanket while I was working. I also got pajamas on too, so it's just because I just felt like wearing them. A lot of times I'm going to be wearing a sweater. And yes, I keep my house very cold. Well, Andy, that's why I tell people to go to urgent care. Of course, I'm never scared to go to any doctor or anything because if I'm ill or something, it's going to be cheaper then. Not only that, I don't want to die. That's what I mean by we have issues. People are trying to cut their diabetic medicine in half. Like I said, no system is perfect. Exactly, it's a comfort blanket. But you guys have seen me wear the blanket before, so. Put my screen door on. Click funnels. Ooh, better take care of that immediately. Well, Scatman, I won't know who I'm going to vote for until next year. I'm definitely not going to vote for Biden, that's for sure. It's kind of a weird situation, Scatman. It really is. But that's my whole thing. I never make up my mind until next year, until the nominees are in place. Once we have two people in place, okay, then we go ahead and vote. But speaking of which, the website I built for that Trump political action committee, it's going pretty well. You know, they hadn't screwed it up so far. So no, I wouldn't vote for Biden if he came out as gay. I don't let things when it comes to my voting. I concentrate more on my money and my finance rather than social issues. You know what I'm saying? Social issues do somewhat motivate me to vote, but not in the way you think, you know. I want our schools to get back to reading, writing, and arithmetic. You know, there's been too much junk that's been put into schools lately. It seems as though they're not even learning the basic skills. You ask someone to add a couple of numbers together, they can't add it up in their head. They have to go to their smartphone, you know, in order to add or subtract or do multiplication or division, you know. Well, Athens, I got bills to pay, you know. And it's been really slow this month too, so but I'm going to be fine. I mean, August is when my I have the most expenses and I have the least amount of money coming in. So it balances out. It is the students' fault, but at the same time, it's going to be you've seen the teachers up there teaching all sorts of stuff out that's not even part of that curriculum, you know. And not only that, as a child, there, Pugman, are not adept to making all the best decisions. You know, they think on the fly. You know, it's important for parents to be involved in their children's education. You know, if a candidate would end poverty and wouldn't affect your money, no, because there's no candidate that can end poverty. Scatman, there's always going to be lazy fucks around. You know, there's always going to be people that don't want to work. You know, people who don't want to work for a living, they deserve to be in poverty. You know, and if a candidate says that they're going to end poverty, what that really means, Scatman, is they're going to take money out of the hardworking man and they're going to give it to the slobs, which is exactly what they're doing right now and have been doing that for the past couple of years. And you know why. Well, gas prices were only low because of COVID. Nobody was driving around. Therefore, uh, there was a surplus of gas. But yes, prices are always going to be lower because of inflation. Prices increase naturally. But we need to definitely take care of inflation. Sky, we've been at war for over 20 years. America's always been in a state of some sort of war. It's just not been declared war, but we've always been at war. Sorry for the yawns, folks. Looks like I got just about everything done, so I need to let me cut off my... Well, no, I can't cut off my phone right now. I do need to plug it up. Biden's a damn goof. Over here, it is 5:45. 10:45 in the UK. No, Biden's a goof. You know what's going to happen if Biden gets reelected? He's going to have some sort of medical issue all of a sudden, and then you're going to have Kamala Harris as president. That's what's going to happen, folks. You're really not voting for Biden. You're voting for Kamala Harris. I mean, they're literally, the way Biden's acting, they're literally using jumper cables and giving him shots of adrenaline in order to keep him around. So, what do I think of hairy legs? I don't really think of anything. People have hairy legs. Some people don't. I don't have hairy legs because since I've been competing so much and I used hair removal, one of the things about using hair removal, it makes your hair grow very slowly. And I've used so much over the years when I was competing, it's got to the point where it doesn't even grow anymore. But I mean, hairy legs is not a turn on or turn off for me. Andy, I would stay away from California and New York. I would go visit Texas or Florida or something. I mean, there's good places in New York and California, but not too many. Sky, it would have been highly inappropriate for me to go to Rob Zilla's funeral because we weren't close friends or anything. We were just acquaintances. You know, whenever you attend a funeral, it should be for close friends and for relatives, in my opinion. And me being there would have been highly inappropriate. Now, speaking of which, from what I understand, someone had wrote me about Big Lenny saying that he talked to Brad and everything, but Brad is calling Lenny a liar. So I'll need to check that out, but I'll let you know about that tomorrow on the other live stream. Athens, as far as that plane accident over in Russia, the only thing I could say is I hope they find the two black guys that did it, you know. That's all I could say about that, you know. I mean, literally, they did that. That was done right out in the open. There was no doubt as far as that's concerned. Montana's very beautiful. I've never been to Colorado before. I wouldn't go to the Grand Canyon at this particular time since it's like in the hundreds. I would wait until it cools down. I've been across the country. I've not been to every state that there is. But one of these days, I'm actually going to take Route 66. Route 66 is still around. And you can get on Route 66 and drive across the U.S. Yeah, but Vegas is fine because you're going to spend most of your time indoors anyway. The only thing you need to be careful of when you're in Vegas, Make sure if you get off on the stop, make sure you get off exactly at the place you are. A lot of people get the confusion in Vegas that they're pretty close by and they'll just get off and walk. And the building is so big that you can be walking like 2 or 3 miles, literally. So you got to be really careful in Vegas, because while a building looks very close to you, it can be like miles away from you because they build them big in Vegas. I've not met Big Lenny in real life, but once I come down to Florida and visit the Redcon 1 headquarters and holler at my friend Aaron, at that point in time, I will look up Big Lenny. But yeah, visiting New York and California, those are the two worst places to visit. They're the most populated, but you've seen the people down in California. They're just acting like they're in the funny pages. Yep, Aaron the Singerman. I mean, we're still pals there, Scatman, and I've always promised that I would come and visit him one day and check out the Redcon headquarters. And of course, I'll go visit Palumbo as well, check out his snakes. There will be a lot for me to do in Florida. I think it's very odd, Sky, as far as the riff with Bravo, McCuck. I think McCuck actually started it, just like he tried to start it with me. I think he's just trying to make a name for himself. I don't have a real problem with Brad, though. He seems to be like an alright guy, but, there's a difference between knowing someone online and then actually meeting up with them, so... Scatman, I can't visit PJ because I'm not on his visitors list, obviously. And PJ's probably still mad at me anyway, so I could have went and visited Aaron when he was in prison. I could have probably got on his visitor list, but. Yeah, I think everyone's gonna have a hard time, especially when someone passes away so young and everything. We still have a big country, Andy. Most of this country is unoccupied, so there's plenty of room. I know, Athens, I know, and then I got to check out the latest stuff that McCuck was talking about at that funeral, so. Sky, I hate those pranks that Big Rob does as well as everybody else. I mean, one day he's going to get beat up, and that's happened before to other people that do similar things. No, Andy, that's tomorrow. This here is the Q&A, Midnight Run UK. I only do, Q&A because I got all my work stuff, pulled up on my computer, so I don't want my customers' information to be shown out there to the world. Because technically I'm still working, but I want to make sure I have a stream to where people don't have to stay up late at night in order to ask questions. PJ hates me because when Aaron split off from Blackstone Labs, I stuck with Aaron rather than PJ, And PJ wrote me about the whole situation and asked me directly. I was like, I've known Aaron for quite some time. I said I was going to stick with him, as far as the situation's concerned. I didn't actually side with Aaron on it because I didn't know what the situation was between the two. But Athens, I'm going to say this cryptically. There are things that I know that PJ and Aaron have done or have been accused of. There was a lady that contacted me over 10 years ago and told me something that I really shouldn't have even brought it up, but it's highly unbelievable. But she had such specific details. I asked both of them about it, and they said that she was a lying bitch and everything. So I pretty much ignored it. But then I heard from two other ladies as well. So I mean, I've not heard back from them since, so I don't know whether they got that worked out or not. So that's a thing. I mean, it was also unusual that those ladies actually contacted me too. So why didn't the slaves get repopulated after the Civil War? Well, after the Civil War, they were free to do what they wanted to do, Scatman. I mean, as far as my family's concerned, after the Civil War, they stayed exactly put and did the exact same job as they were doing as slaves. They just got paid for it, you know. Once everyone was free, people were free to do whatever they want. Some moved up north. Some people, like my family, just stuck and did the same thing they were doing before. My family stuck and did the same thing that they were doing before. No, it didn't have anything to do with it. I've known Aaron since 2006, whenever he was at MD and he was living in that roach infested apartment with Darielle and stuff. Nah, because it's an accusation. But it's a very bad one, too. Like, that I can tell you. Well, Matrix, that doesn't surprise me one bit considering everything that's happened. No, Athens. That's why I don't. That's why I only do a Q&A, because it's still early to where I'm technically still working and taking orders. Well, Scatman, some of the slaves did go back to Africa, and they formed a country called Liberia. But they didn't get shipped back. They went on their own free will. They spread out everywhere. But you know, the country Liberia, that's where all free. When some some slaves that were freed, they went back to Africa. And it's called Liberia. They speak English there. Hmm. Of course, I could show you guys this. Hold on. Doo doo. If you guys want to see some of my ancestors, I guess I can show this on the screen. Hang tight. There you go. Here's one of my ancestors. As you can tell, they're dressed pretty well. And if you're wondering, she's white, actually. So you see, some of my family were slaves, and obviously, some of them weren't. I do have white people in my family, so. This picture is from the 18th century. There you go, folks. That is Lucreta. That's her name, Lucreta. Uh, Lucreta Robbins. Actually, I forgot. This is born in 1831 to a harem, and Mary. Died in 1872. And Lucreta is Italian. So, like I said, I had Italians in my family. So, yeah, I am, I think like 15% Italian or something. It's something like that. Could be more. Yeah, Sicilian master. She was rocking that dress, wasn't she? You know. Hey, we're supposed to be using 925 there, Sky. We're not supposed to be using porch. Y'all use that word too much. 925, everyone. Jesus freaking Christ. Yeah, everyone's entitled to everything these days. Now, if you want to see a marriage certificate, let me show you this here. Now, this is pretty cool. 925 is police code for a suspicious person. So we're using 925 until the end of this month. We're not using porch. So here's another one here. So this is a marriage certificate for harem. So this was dated in 1826. Yeah, I had some of my family members send me this. So pretty cool, huh? They weren't slaves because they were Italian, Scatman. And honestly, the only thing I actually have, the only thing that's there, really, there's not gonna be any free papers or anything. I mean, there's no such thing as free papers. Yep, Pugman, very long time ago. I figured I'd show you a couple things. So when you're looking up, so what it actually shows, Scatman, is whenever the U.S. Census is in place, and you look on it, it says domestic worker or domestic servant. They're not going to actually say, it's not going to actually say the word slave on it. It's going to either say, it says domestic servant or domestic worker. You know, That's all it's going to say. There was no free papers. Once the Civil War ended, they say you go on about your business, and that's it. My family, they stuck around, did the same thing they were doing before, except got a paycheck for it. Maybe an extra chicken in every bucket or so. I don't know. Did something. I am not taking over Team Humanity. Fuck that. Pugman, oh boy. I have no idea. I'd have to look that up. The only thing I could say is probably not. They, chances are what they probably did is probably had them do a very simple task or so forth. I mean, it doesn't take much skill to pick cotton. I think someone that was autistic could probably do something like that. I tend to not think of things like that. I mean, I've never been a slave, obviously, so. And there's no way I can ask a slave owner because they're all dead. So, Sky, are you telling me you've never had chicken wings before? You've never eaten chicken? Athens, shut the fuck up about money. Didn't I already tell you guys to quit hounding people about donations and stuff? I mean, I don't eat fried chicken because I don't like greasy foods or anything. I eat grilled chicken. I grill my chicken. I don't fry it or anything. I hate greasy foods because I always eat because whenever I eat greasy foods, I always feel kind of weird afterwards. I like my foods very dry. I guess I'm sort of like Sean Ray. I like food that's dry. I don't like sauces or gravy or anything. Yeah. Yeah, I know, Ryan. I know. But Athens, if you wanted to donate, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. But don't go and uh, wag the hand of somebody else that's wanting to donate. If you want to donate, donate. So that's not really the reason why I do these live streams here. I always want to keep track with my fellow piss troopers. That's what it's all about. I eat oatmeal and chicken. Why? That's a weird combination. Well, Sky, you have to understand that, different races have different types of foods and stuff like that. But I think white people actually eat more chicken than blacks. I mean, most of America eats chicken because chicken is cheap. It's cheap per pound as opposed to beef and fish. People don't eat much fish because it's pretty expensive compared to chicken. Chicken is cheap, so I think most of the country eats chicken. Scatman, we need to leave that conversation alone about autistic slaves. There wouldn't be any information as far as that's concerned. They would probably do the same work as everybody else was doing. Well, in terms of eating, Ken, I mean, Sean Ray likes his food dry, and I like my food dry as well. I don't like sauces or gravies or anything. I don't like greasy food. Oh, I'm well aware they have fish and chips and stuff. Well, for white people, we're using sun crickets, actually. For blacks, we're using 925s. Next month, Simeon for blacks and Gabachos for whites. We got to schedule this shit. I'm just messing around, everybody. Oh boy, sometimes racism's funny. Mm. But like I said, there are no limits as far as these shows are concerned. You know, you're free to say and do what you want to do here, but quit pestering people over donations. That irritates me. Makes me feel kind of awkward having to tell you that as well. Oh boy. But most of America eats chicken anyway, so I mean because it's cheap. Oh, I always have a laugh. I always have a good time. I mean, by nature, I'm a comedian. You know, I do stuff like Richard Pryor does. So I mean, I grew up watching Richard Pryor, so I tell similar jokes to that. You know, that's all that really is. That's all I'm doing. I'm not doing anything else. You know, just having a little fun with words. You know. But those are the words we're currently using on Get Big, actually, forums. Every other ethnicity, it's going to be at random, and stuff. The thing is, I really want Brad and Lenny to kiss and make up. They really need to put this whole thing behind, and they did have an opportunity at Rob Zilla's funeral, but it doesn't look like that's the case as far as to what happened. Motherfucker. I guess that's a compliment. I mean, I'm bald like Samuel L. Jackson, so I mean, if I wanted to go as Nick Fury for Halloween, I would easily fit in that costume. I believe the majority of birds on Earth now are human raised fowl like chickens and such. No, there's still a lot more birds than there are chicken. Non negotiable. Ryan, I turned that debate off after like 15 minutes. And I was like, man, these people are dorks. I'm just going to watch. The only thing I watched was Trump's interview with Tucker Carlson, and that was it. I mean, the people that were on the debate stage, they're jockeying for second place, and there can only be first place. They weren't even really trying up there. They were just trying to get some catchwords and stuff. And you know what I'm actually thinking, Ryan? I'm thinking that they're secretly wanting Trump to be convicted of a felony. Because if he gets convicted of a felony, he can't run for office. So I think inside, even though they're saying this and that they're going to support Trump, they automatically know. I think they're wanting Trump to be convicted. They're a bunch of turncoats, and they should stick with their party, Ryan. I think they're secretly wishing for Trump to get convicted. Well, not really, Scatman. If I'm on Muscle Sports live stream with Joe Piataro, I can curse as much as I want because that's Instagram. On YouTube, they've really gotten into it as far as to the amount of cursing you can do. Why did McCuck wave off Brad for? Well, McCuck was friends with Robzilla, so I think that would have been appropriate. JV, I'm still holding out hopes that Big Lenny and Brad get back together. One sound bit that I heard about Nikki Haley is that, she's claiming that she's pro-life, but she's wanting a consensus, She is correct. There's no way to win a vote against all the Democrats. There does have to be a consensus. But at the same time, you're still supposed to be arguing for what you believe in. That's just my thing. They should just not even debate. They should go up to Trump and ask who do they want. They should actually be jockeying for position as far as to who's going to be vice president. That's just my whole thing, because none of them have any chance of winning. None of them. They're not going to beat Trump. So what they're hoping for is that Trump gets convicted of the felony. Hey, Lamar, what's up? Welcome to the show. I don't even think the Asian guy was any good. I don't think really any of them were good. None of them moved the needle for the little time that I spent. Like I said, I spent 15 minutes watching it, and they weren't going anywhere. It was like canned responses, like they already prepared for them. You smoking dope? Smoking Buddha, Lamar? Okay. Yeah, no, I'm going to check that out. We'll talk about that more, Sky, as far as the Brad Lenny situation is tomorrow on the live stream. No, that definitely wasn't cool of Lenny to say that. I know exactly what Lenny has said. But I'm still holding out hopes that, I'm still holding out hopes that they'll kiss and make up. Chris Christie has no chance. Nobody likes him. He's heavily obese, He's not going to lose weight or anything. I mean, people are just disgusted with Chris Christie. Because he makes these flagrant comments, but he won't stick to where he is, He should stay on his own side of the sidewalk. Rutgers requiring 3 jabs? Let me look that up. I've not heard of that. That's the same college to where old Don Imus went and said that nappy-headed hose comment, isn't it? That's the same university, isn't it? It says that they can be granted a medical or religious exemption, and that Rutgers is going to still require COVID vaccines. But the thing is, you can still get a religious or medical exemption for it. So if you have that, you don't need to get a vaccine. And I think that's going to be the same with all other colleges. But what do I know? I've been out of college over 20 years. Yeah, I'm still reading over it as far as their policies are concerned. But I'm just going to let you know this is going to be this is going to be the same in every other college. It's not going to be Rutgers. And they say that there's an uptick in COVID. That remains to be seen. I honestly don't know what's going on. It's just very suspicious to me. Princeton? Heck no, it doesn't rule. School's too expensive for its worth. Yeah, I remember when Rob sounded off on Cuban. So yeah, Rob was gonna go find Cuban and beat his ass. So, but old Rob is gone now. Hopefully none of. I hope Jay and nobody else goes and disrespects his memory or anything. That would be pretty bad. No, I've had enough jabs and boosters. I've only taken 2 jabs and I took 1 booster. I've never felt the same ever since I took the stuff there. I'm going to be honest with you, Scatman.
Goldrum Group.
Vince Goldrum with a $5 donation. I should register that domain name, Goldrum Group. What do you think, folks? Do you think I should register the domain Goldrum Group? Say it in the comments below. But thanks again for the donation. Like I say, you always take good care of me there. I mean, the whole thing about me taking it is a lot of my family dropped like flies whenever COVID happened. So it was a. So once all my family members started dropping, and I mean, I lost like 10 people. At that point in time, I figured that I was susceptible to it, you know. That and my mama yelled at me to go get it before it was too late. And, you know, the great one always listens to mama, you know. What mama says, Vince does. Period. Non-negotiable. You know why? Because that's my mama. And I love her. I don't per se have any regrets as far as taking the jab or anything. It was a decision I had to make at that time, you know. And hindsight of things, I just wish I didn't have to take it. Because, like I said, I've never felt the same ever since I took that stuff, you know. Once I took it, I felt a whole lot different, and I can't put my finger on it per se. But before I took the jab, I had a different feeling as far as my body working is concerned as in today. So that's why I'm not going to take any more of these boosters or anything like that. Well, my gas tank is full, Scat Man. Like I said, I just got my Mercedes out of the shop from servicing. So it's fueled with gas. I'm glad that they didn't have to do much servicing. Just changed the transmission fluid, and my belt was cracked, so I told them just to go ahead and change that as well. That's pretty much it. They changed the oil when I just got it changed last week, so I was a little irritated about that. But I put aside $1,000 for servicing the Mercedes, and it was a whole lot less. So I'm very pleased at that. Yeah, 94 C-Class coupe. But I had it serviced over 2 years ago, so like I said before, for that amount of money, it's cheap transportation with very little maintenance work. About every 2 or 3 years. I'll have to change mine soon. Usually on a Mercedes, it runs about $500 for me to change the brakes and rotors. My car smells good, Scatman. My car smells better than yours. I'm just doing a little Sean G. Yep, Mercedes. It's green, actually. Let's take a look at the update as far as Trump is concerned. Well, Trump is currently en route to turn himself in. He'll hit the airport at 7 p.m. Oh, shit. He's going to get a mugshot. I thought they were going to use a public domain picture. He's going to get a fucking mugshot, folks. Why in the world does Trump need a mugshot? Everyone knows what he looks like. I can understand the fingerprinting and stuff, but the... Oh, boy. That's not cool. The way I keep my house smelling fresh is, one, I clean the place, obviously. And the other thing I do is I burn. This here is sandalwood and myrrh. This is all I burn in my house. Now, sandalwood and myrrh are ancient scents. You light this up, it's going to clean your house automatically. It worked out. It's been used for thousands of years. Get this, folks, if you want your house to smell nice and fresh. Sandalwood and myrrh. It's worked for thousands of years. It'll work for your house. I got a special filtration system, Pugman. And I smoke next to my filtration system, there's no smell in the house. The smell only stays maybe like 15 or 20 minutes, and then it dissipates because it's going to go through that filtration system. That's why I sit next to it. It's for the propaganda. That is not cool at all. That really isn't. Scatman, you should be using... You mean to tell me that you don't use scented candles? That's why you ain't getting no pussy, man. You want to get some puss? Get some scented candles. Women want your house smelling fresh, you know? Trust me on this. Why would I buy Gwyneth Paltrow scented candles? This stuff you can get from TJ Maxx for cheap. Cinnamon sticks is perfect as well. Let me let you guys know on something. In my old apartments, if you want to keep the roaches out, just spray around your house a mix of cinnamon oil and water. And that'll keep the roaches out of your house naturally. It keeps your house fresh. It keeps the roaches out because any type of insects tend to avoid things like cinnamon because they don't like the flavor or anything. I mean, sandalwood and myrrh has been used for thousands of years. Get yourself a sandalwood and myrrh. It's cheap. You can get it at TJ Maxx. I got this for $7.99. It lasts for, at least 100 hours. Your house smells good. You take your woman home. She's like, man, house smell good. You smell good. That's all she wrote. There's nothing gay about having scented candles. I mean, the purpose of scented candles is to keep your house smelling good. Just keeping it real and telling it to you like it is. I wouldn't use the celebrities' candles because the thing about it is when you pay for celebrity stuff, you're not paying for the product, you're paying for the celebrity. That's why they jack up the prices. But that's all I keep in my house is sandalwood and myrrh. Damn right it's good tips, Ryan. I mean, heck. I've told you, there's no person that's going to know more about women than gay folks here. Just saying, but me naturally, I'm going to, I know how to make women open up like a flower if I need to. And dudes open up like a flower. You got to know what people want. Like I said, the women, the first thing they look at is your shoes. And then your chest, and then your eyes. And if you're not dressed well for the occasion, you got your hat turned around like Bart Simpson and stuff like that, they're not going to want to fuck you. They're not. You got to look good. You got to look fresh like Kool in the Gang. Well, I use the company DW House, and these are hand dipped and they're natural. These are more natural. They're not chemically based or anything. They actually use real sandalwood and myrrh. And the reason why it's cheap is because it's sandalwood and myrrh. It's cheap because it's plentiful. It's, like I said, it's one of the first scents that's been around. Sandalwood, that's the stuff they brought to the birth of Jesus, They brought sandalwood and myrrh. Didn't you read the Bible? Well, Ryan, you're training at the time, but once you finish working out and you change clothes, make sure you're wearing something nice. Who had his hat backwards? That would have been Sean G. Oh boy. That would have been him indeed. Freezing up gains. Like I said, I keep my house cold. And one of the reasons is, one, I like being bundled up. And two, when your house is cold, it keeps flies away. And it's a lot cheaper to keep your house cold during the summertime. If you keep it consistently cold, it uses less power. I know there's people that change the temperature left and right and everything. And when it does that, the conditioner has to change settings. If you keep it consistent, it uses less power. Of course not, Dragon. Sandalwood is that's a Middle Eastern thing, just like myrrh. It's not really from India. T-shirts for $120. That's a little expensive. Why would someone sell a T-shirt for $120? He's not Carl Kanai or anything. My video's freezing up. Let's see. Hang loose. Wonder why it's dropping like that. That's weird. Yeah, the stream did drop a little bit. What the hell? Give me just a minute, Pugman. I think I know what it is, actually. I may have run out of data on the cell router. Possibly. That's what it is. I ran out. Eh. Oh, crap. I wonder how that happened. No, I have 150. As far as the cellular router is concerned, I only have 150 gigabytes of data. So, ugh. Oh boy. No, I definitely paid my bills, that's for sure. But yeah, I am dropping flames here, so yeah, 1 second. Yeah, apparently so. But I've been doing a lot of streaming lately with the added extra shows, so I guess eventually that happened. But it's going to turn over pretty soon anyway, tonight. So I'll definitely have plenty of streaming tomorrow. But I may just do this here for now. Ew, boy. A little bit, but I'll have to switch servers. Hang tight, everyone. Hang tight. All right, I have it on the. Well, I went ahead and switched frames on here, so it's going to freeze a little bit. But we got like 19 minutes left. Yeah, I ran out of data, Ryan. But folks, we got 19 minutes left. But if you want to donate for the service on a router, go right ahead. Oh boy, what a mess. That was not what I wanted. Why did Brad have beef with Lenny? I have no idea, but Lenny said that he tried to speak with them. But it's very odd. Like I said, I haven't seen McCuck's video as far as that is concerned, so I'll have to see what that's really all about. But somehow I don't think it's going to be very good. Just pulling things up here. Well, that's the whole thing, Sky. I never... McCuck just started attacking me for no reason, you know? So I don't know what his deal is. Yeah, I've used 150 gigabytes of data. Oh, boy. And I actually got 4 days left. Oh, boy. Hold on. I think that's the max I can actually get. What did he was just talking about, he said all sorts of stuff. I think this is going to be the max Pugman that I can actually buy. Definitely is going to be a problem, that's for sure. Because I still got another stream tomorrow. Eee. I may even have to cancel the show tomorrow. Because this one's not going to run too good, neither. Either that or shorten the show up. I definitely won't be able to run, I definitely won't be able to run any React videos tomorrow. Unless I come up with something. Verizon. Yeah, I'm actually at the max plan itself. But what happened is I'm just doing a lot of streaming with the Midnight Run UK. That pretty much took me out. That's probably what happened. Well, I don't have cable or fiber FM. That's why it's so expensive to run the router. Because originally I didn't have enough money, but thanks to Pugman's donation, I was able to purchase the router. But the only caveat with it is that there's only 150 gigabytes of data. So I will have to. Yeah, I may have to open up another type of account. I mean, the router is capable of having 2 SIM cards in it. So, I'll figure something out, Pugman. But, folks, we got 12 minutes left, so get your questions in. And once we're done, I'll go ahead and figure out the whole SIM card thing. But the great one will get something worked out, that's for sure. Well, it's not a matter of donations there, Sky. I just need to be more efficient with the data itself. It won't happen next month or anything, that's for sure.
Fix it, man. Golden Group funding.
Vince Goldrum with a $1,000 donation. I'll definitely fix it there, I can assure you. And that will definitely help getting it fixed there. So, definitely appreciate the donation there. So, I'll be ready for tomorrow there. No worries. We'll pop a card in there. No, Scat Man, I just need to be more efficient as far as to the stream. Because I added in the extra couple of hours, it just means it means I'm using more service. The good thing is that, again, that router that I purchased, it's a dual SIM, That's why I bought it for. It's a dual SIM. So I can put another SIM card in and I can have more service, so... But that will definitely help there. But, I was going to take care of it anyway. But I definitely appreciate the donation, Pugman. In fact, yeah, that would be a good idea. I can do an attachment to it. Honestly... I may already have a solution to it. I mean, we're going to close out in about 10 minutes. Yes, I do live in a mobile home. I don't live in a trailer park. I just live in a mobile home on my property in the suburbs. But yes, indeed, I'll have it fixed tomorrow. And then everything will be like peas and carrots. Well, that's on my channel, Sky. I've already put a video as far as a tour of my home. I did that last year, actually. So it's fairly recent. But folks, we got like 8 minutes left, and then I'm going to go get some more service there for the router, so we'll be ready for tomorrow. But rest assured, I'll get that taken care of. That's no problem. Of course, I would show it on the video now, but we are running at 2,000. I mean, it should be clear and everything right now, but of course, when we do the reaction videos, but like I said, I'll have that fixed. It's definitely a good thing we got the dual SIM, that's for sure. Oh, be quiet, Sky. I don't need a new house. Let's see here. I am going to start up another stream just to test something out, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get another SIM card, put that in, and we'll be back in business. What I've been up to, I've just been hanging out, you know. But we got 5 minutes left. Get your questions in, if you know, or so forth. Great one ran out of data like a couple days before that. Is it true that you can go on a regular doctor? Well, for someone like me, Jay, I'm gonna have to take the TRT therapy for the rest of my life. But given the fact that they're in about 20 years, I'm sure they're gonna work out some new fangled item. I mean, they're working with testosterone restoration as far as the testes are concerned, as far as them going back to naturally producing it. But other than that, it's the thing about TRT therapy is the purpose of it is to restore your testosterone. It's not something. It's because your body's no longer producing testosterone. So if you go off TRT therapy, you're no longer going to produce testosterone. So that's why you got to stay on it for the rest of your life. It's like no medicine or so. Scatman, I only eat vanilla ice cream. I don't put any toppings or anything on it. I went to the movies to see Brokeback Mountain. So yeah, I saw it in the movies. Boyfriend at the time wanted to see it. I'm like, okay. I mean, this was before streaming. So if you wanted to go watch a movie or so forth, and you had to see it at that time because otherwise you would have had to wait until it went out on DVD, and that could be months. But it was a good date, you know, so. No, I didn't bring a blanket to the cinema. But of course, we got to do the. Almost forgot. We got 3 minutes left, but I forgot to do the soul poll. Soul Pole. A little rugged. No, it wasn't like that. We had been dating for months anyway, so it was just a regular date. That was a long time ago. A lot younger then. Yes, indeed. Sometimes I do miss being in my 20s. I'll shout on my stream if I want to there, Sky. Oh yeah. A spooking sky. How original. When it comes to spooking someone, that's our specialty. Another one of my great Richard Pryor jokes. That's just something we do there. That's all it is. Just something we do. No, there should not be any ads that are playing through my streams there, Pugman. There should be no ads whatsoever. I have those turned off. Let me make sure of that. I don't... Yeah, that's turned off. There's no mid-rolling streams. You got some? Okay. YouTube's not supposed to be doing that to me. Because you see, there's a live ad setting automatically place mid-roll ads during my stream, and I always turn that off. Yeah, it appears to be so. not supposed to do that because I specifically turn off all of that. I'll definitely get that fixed. But folks, it is 7 o'clock p.m. It is midnight in the UK. Definitely want to thank Pugman. I want to thank everybody else for joining me tonight for the Midnight Run UK. We will be up tomorrow at 8 o'clock p.m. doing react videos. The great one will have another SIM card in his router. Again, thank Pugman for the router because his donations has paid for it. And that's why I buy a dual SIM router for situations like that. But again, folks, thanks again for joining me. And as always, peace and soul. Now, this stream, I may have another stream up in just a second just to test out something, just to let you guys